Right now at 6, a Vancouver couple detained by federal agents and on Thanksgiving Day.
We had an empty chair where he was supposed to sit and be with us.
Why it appears one woman was released while her partner was not.
Then, the evidence that helped authorities track down a burglary suspect just days after a new task force hit the streets.
We know of at least 4 individuals that are involved.
Plus, call it a new era in Corvallis as the Beavers roll out the orange carpet for their new head coach.
And later, how artificial intelligence is helping cut through the clutter of holiday shopping.
These are general purpose technologies, so they can do anything.
First here at 6, a Vancouver family is asking for help after federal agents detained a loved one who was delivering food on Thanksgiving Day. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich.
And I'm David Molko. Let's get right to Celine Stevens live in Vancouver where this all unfolded. So Celine, walk us through what you've learned.
David and Christine, so it was a sad Thanksgiving for the family of Luis Extrop this year. Now, I spoke with his sister and his partner earlier today, and they told me that he was hospitalized since he was detained due to issues with high blood pressure. His partner telling me they were just out making food deliveries when they were stopped by federal agents.
All I could think of was like, it's going to be a sad Thanksgiving.
Brenda Coronado and Luis Extrop have been together for more than 10 years.
Luis is caring man, a lovable father of 3.
On Thanksgiving, around 6:30 in the morning, they were out making food deliveries. They stopped at a donut shop for coffee in this plaza off of Northeast 117th Avenue in Vancouver. And as they were leaving, they were pulled over. Coronado saying federal agents arrested them both, despite her having a green card.
He was like, where is it at? And I didn't have my bag. At that moment, I forgot my bag at home. And I said, I don't have it. And then he was like, well, you're undocumented.
She says she was injured when they pulled her out the car.
They just pulled me out, and then all I hear was a crack in my knee. And at that point, I said, you hurt my knee. And he was like, oh, well, you need to get out.
Coronado says eventually they let her go, but kept Extrop, who does not have legal status. Luis's sister, Cecia Extrop, saying it came as a shock.
We had an empty chair where he was supposed to sit and be with us.
She says he's been in the hospital since Thursday and suffers from high blood pressure.
Just so heartbroken by what happened, because this is a way that it rips families apart in an instant, and you don't expect that.
While she acknowledged Luis had a DUI from years ago, she says her brother has had no other run-ins with the law. Coronado saying she begged them to let her give him a hug, which she was granted.
They were like just laughing, saying, Happy Thanksgiving. And I turned around and I was like, how is that going to be a happy Thanksgiving? How is that? You're taking my other half. You're breaking us apart.
So the family says that they're working on getting an attorney, and they now have a GoFundMe up to help with the costs. They also told me that Extrop was supposed to be transferred from the hospital to the Northwest ICE Processing Center in Tacoma this afternoon. Now, I've reached out to ICE for more details on this, and I'm still waiting on that statement back. Back to you.
Celine Stevens reporting live from Vancouver for us this evening. Thank you, Celine. Stay with us as we continue to track the impact of immigration enforcement on our local communities. You can find the latest here, online at KGW.com, or anytime on our free TV streaming app, KGW+.
Well, to a live look from our Rose City Sky Camera after a very chilly morning. Yeah, we all felt it. And what's turning out to be a chilly evening on the first day of a brand new month.
Matt's here now with your weather impact forecast. Matt, the big winter jackets came out, but I have a feeling that we're going to be swapping them again for some rain jackets.
Well, if you're heading up to Zoo Lights the next couple of nights, you definitely want the winter jacket. It's beautiful up there, the big tree. Lots of folks heading in to enjoy the festivities. Down to 39 already. So we had a coolish day. We topped out near 50, but once the sun goes down and the fact that it's not completely cloudy yet, temperature just drops super quickly. So that's what's happening right now. Look at this from Mount Hood, a beautiful cap cloud. It's a good indication that we're going to see a change in the weather. Usually means there'll be some type of precipitation coming in within 24 hours, and there is, but the type is light and scattered and not that much and really won't do anything for our winter snowpack. So we get a few showers in the morning, and then it dries up, and by mid to late morning, we should start seeing some breaks in the overcast becoming partly sunny later in the day. And now overnight tonight won't get as cold as it did last night. We'll drop to the upper 30s, but stay above freezing, and much warmer mornings on the way later in the week as the rain sets in, and not just for a day or two, but for several days in a row. We're still looking for mountain snow. We'll look harder. We'll have that for you a bit later, guys.
Still waiting for ski season. Thanks, Matt.
In your headlines, a Malala man will spend 2 years in prison for attacking a police officer and sparking an hours-long standoff. Montgomery Gardner pleaded guilty last week to assaulting a public safety officer and felon in possession of a firearm. It started in a city park when an officer asked Gardner to exit a tent back in July. Police say Gardner had a large knife and a meth pipe on him. When the officer tried to detain him, Gardner attacked, then jumped into the patrol car, which led to a 2-hour SWAT standoff before he eventually surrendered. The officer was treated for multiple injuries.
West Virginia's governor says the surviving victim of last week's National Guard shooting in D.C. is improving, though still in serious condition. Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf and Specialist Sarah Beckstrom were shot last Wednesday while on patrol near the White House. Beckstrom died on Thanksgiving Day.
Andrew was asked if he could hear the nurse who asked the question to give a thumbs up, and he did respond. And we were told that he also wiggled his toes. So we take that as a positive sign.
The suspect, 29-year-old Ramanola Lakanwal, allegedly drove across the country from Bellingham, Washington. We have since learned he came to the U.S. in 2021 under a resettlement program after serving 10 years in the Afghan army, including alongside a CIA-backed unit. He was granted asylum this year. Lakanwal was shot during the attack and remains hospitalized while facing a host of charges, including murder.
Troubled home improvement star Zachary Ty Bryan is back in Oregon and back in jail. The 44-year-old was booked Saturday on a probation violation stemming from his 2023 domestic violence conviction. The victim in that case and mother of 3 of his children was also arrested Saturday, facing charges including attempted assault and DUI with children in the car.
Getting through airport security is about to get more complicated and expensive for passengers trying to travel without a real ID. Starting in February, passengers 18 and up will now have to pay $45 and use an ID verification system called TSA Confirm ID. If you don't have ID that is real ID compliant, that includes an enhanced ID in Washington or a passport, for example, you'll have to go online and apply and pay the fee. You can also pay at the airport, TSA says, but you might be waiting an extra half an hour. If approved, it'll cover a 10-day period, and then you'll have to do it all over again.
And in an update today, Portland Mayor Keith Wilson says he's reached his December 1st goal of adding 1,500 shelter beds. You may recall Mayor Wilson pledged to end unsheltered homelessness during his campaign. While that has not happened, with thousands of people still living on the streets, Wilson said in a video message today, the city must now channel its energy into long-term solutions.
1,500 beds was never the finish line. It's a milestone. It's our beginning. Our mission is to maintain capacity so that every person, every night, has access to a safe bed. We'll adjust as needed, and over time, we'll expect demand to decrease as we shift to our housing goals.
Blair Best has been following the mayor's campaign promise closely, and we'll have more coming up at 6:30.
In an update tonight, a brand new burglary task force in Multnomah County says it's made its first arrest and indictment.
Devin Haskins is live in downtown Portland with more details on this and also who police are still looking for. Devin.
Yeah, that break-in happened at Mary Jane's House of Glass on Southeast Division last month. And we talked to the manager today who said these types of break-ins, not only did they harm the small businesses themselves, but also hurt the customers too. Inside Mary Jane's Glass Shop off Southeast Division, security camera video shows a man breaking into the store through a window, then opening the door to let another person in.
I was really disappointed. I like to think that our store has become a big part of the neighborhood.
Josh Olson is the manager of the store. He says it's been broken into before. This time, he says the thieves stole vaporizers and torches.
It really impacts the kind of service I can provide to them, right? It impacts things like store security. And it impacts like what we can even display as far as like visible in the window.
And thieves were in and out within a matter of minutes. It's unknown how much damage was done.
This is a common thing that we see in Portland of breaking into a business and taking really anything and everything that they can find quickly and get out.
Portland police arrested one person, 39-year-old Amber Turner, who wasn't seen in the security video provided by police. Court documents say police found her with merchandise from the store inside a bag that she was wearing.
We know of at least 4 individuals that are involved.
The arrest and indictment of Turner is the first for the newly formed Burglary Theft Task Force. The DA's office and several law enforcement agencies are teaming up to crack down on burglaries. Portland recorded 3,200 burglaries in the past year.
So something like this, while it may not seem like a big deal, could cripple these owners, and we don't want to see that happen either.
Police are looking for the 2 men seen in the video, the one in the red hat and the other in the green sweatshirt. Portland police are also asking for other businesses that may have experienced similar situations or had break-ins themselves to give them a call. They're trying to figure out if this was a crime of opportunity or part of a larger ring. Back to you.
Appreciate the update. Thank you, Devin.